I'm working in the New Perspectives textbook for Access 2007. I'm in Tutorial 7 and I've started on page 354. I've already added the fields to the blank report. I've added those fields and I'm not going to resize them because I'm going to go through the steps in this chapter, but I'm going to go through them a different way. I'm going to use the tools that are built into the program instead of doing most of this work manually. So I'm going to leave these fields alone right now, but I am going to head over to the next page, page 356, and I'm going to add a group, and I'm going to group on invoice item, and I'm going to click more here, and I'm going to click invoice item, and I'm just simply going to hit delete on that. And I'm also going to group. And let's see, I'm going to group by keep whole group together on one page. And now the next thing I'm going to do on this is I'm going to, with the header section, and I'm going to add, I'm going to come into totals. And, sorry on that, wrong place here. I'm going to add a section. I'm going to go with a footer section. And I'm going to go on, let's see, with no totals, and I'm going to change that to total on invoice amount, and I'm going to sum, and sum is already selected. I'm going to have grand total, and I'm also going to show in group footer. So I've just added my totals. And that takes me all the way over to page 359. And on 359, it starts telling me to move and resize controls in this report. I'm not going to do any of that work yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, and with page setup, I'm going to set my margins, my page layout first, and then I'm going to set my margins. You always want to set the page layout first, because if you set the margins and then change the orientation of the page, the margins will move with the orientation. This is not like Word where the margins will stay in place and the page will rotate. The margins will rotate with the page orientation. So hit landscape first, and then we're going to go to page setup, and we're going to change our margins, and we want 0.7 top and bottom, and we want 1.5 left and right. This is not the best use of the page, but this is the way that we've been asked to do it, so that's the way we're going to do it. You see that my columns are pretty close together here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these columns, and I'm going to go into Arrange, Control Padding, and with my control padding I'm going to select Medium. And what that's going to do is it's going to put space between all my columns. Now I see my margin is out here, and I'm going to start moving my columns around. First I'll take out that invoice because they want me to do that, and I'll resize this column down a little bit. And invoice amount I need to be careful of because my very last number is $1 million. So I want to make sure that I don't resize that column too narrow. It's looking pretty good right now. Invoice date, it's okay. You don't want a field like city to wrap, so I'm going to bring that out until my full city is shown. Now remember, my margin's still out here. Now I have plenty of room to work on customer and bring it out a ways. Probably a little too far. And contract type and bring it out. I want to keep track of, I don't want paid here to go over that margin. Now I can bring it in a little bit. It's a little wider than it needs to be. And add a little more space here to contract type. But still, you don't want to go over that right margin. I'm looking pretty good. Now we have a problem, with the Can Grow feature in Access. It says that it's working, but it's really not. So I'm going to go and I'm going to select my customer data, and I'll open up my property sheet. On my Format tab, I'm going to scroll down until I find, it's near the bottom, Can Grow. It says yes, but it is not actually working. So I'm going to turn it off and then I'm going to turn it back on. And I'm just going to double click it to turn it off and double click it to turn it back on. And you'll see by turning it on in one place, I basically make it work in all the other places. I'm going to go ahead and save this report. You probably have saved yours earlier, but I'm going to save it as RPT invoices by item. Now what I wanted to do there is I just wanted to show you how easy it is to resize these columns without ungrouping or removing the items in here from the group and then moving them all manually. That's a lot more work than you need to do. And I could, if I wanted to come in here again, if I don't think this is enough padding, I could actually come in here and put wide padding in it. Now it's going to move my paid out over that margin. And so I really don't want that much padding in it, so I'm going to move it back to medium. And hopefully when I look at this in print preview, I've not, see, by doing that I've created an extra wide page width here. I'll go ahead and say OK to that. A close print preview. I'm going to go into design view and I'm going to have to scroll all the way out to 16 and bring that margin in. You see, when I brought that margin in, I didn't worry about where I dropped it. I just brought it in and dropped it. Because when you drop that margin, it will not remove any controls from your page. So you don't have to spend time here you trying to get it right up to the the exact place. Just bring it in and drop it, and it will drop at the right end of the last control on your page. And that's the end of this segment.